Looking for a better delivery this time, and he's certainly found it! What a noise at Oakwell! More touch, and a possibility here for Murphy! And he takes full advantage! It's a long way back for Bolton now! And it still might be an ease! Ruben Rodriguez! Well, and potential here. Oh, and Wooden got the final touch! The two Stockport players didn't. Oh, it's magnificent! Sam Gorby, Bolton's Player of the Year! He paid for war. Rodriguez scores! The man who started it finishes it for Bolton! Bolton Wanderers are back in the championship again.
We've done it, boys. We've only gone and done it. Bolton Wanderers are back in the championship, and I never want to see League One again. Now, we've jumped into FC 26. We've become the new manager of Bolton Wanderers, and as we are using the live start points feature, we are straight into the championship. Still feels surreal. After 7 long years of Bolton being out of the championship, we've finally returned. The absolute minimum of where this club should be. No more Burton, no more Mansfield, no more Peterborough away. But there's work to be done, boys. This is how the team is looking as we enter the championship. Loads of positions we need to improve in. We've currently got a CDM at right back, a right back at right mid. Yeah, this is not going to do. As in real life, Bolton did rely heavily on loans last season. Key players like Johnny Kenny and Amario Kozia-Dubry made massive impacts. And looking at our current team, our highest rated players are Ethan Erahan, Josh Sheehan and Joel Randall, who are all 68 rated. Now, Joel Randall is going to be sold in real life from Bolton. Players like George Johnston, Jordi Osei-Tutu and Kyle Dempsey weren't offered new contracts and have all left the club. They were 3 key first team players. But Bolton are acting quick in the transfer window, and very reliable Twitter sources are saying 2 signings have already been completed. First is David Watson, who's joining us from Kilmarnock on a free contract, but we do have to pay compensation. And as you can see, he's 70 rated and 21-year-old in game, someone we can definitely build the team around. And Bolton have also agreed a 700 grand deal to sign Lucas Stevenson from Liverpool, who's 69 rated and 22-year-old. Going off the back of 2 amazing loan spells at Dundee United, he could be an amazing signing for us in real life. While the last player who we signed who had a good loan spell at Dundee went on to be our player of the season and score an overhead kick at Wembley. But looking at the team we've loaded into on paper, we're going to have to make some signings. We need a new goalkeeper to replace Jack Bonham, who's 32-year-old and 65 rated. I think we're going to need 2 new wingers, as Gale and Christie aren't going to cut it at the championship level. And I may look to bring a new attacking midfielder to the club as well. Rodriguez is 29-year-old and 67 rated, an absolute star in the final. He's not someone we can really build our team around going forward. Actually, going into the championship, there's a lot of work to be done with the squad. And the way we're going to play is with a wing play tactical vision. That's how we focused last season. We were getting the ball out to Sissoko, Dubry as much as we could. We're going to do that again, but with new wingers. With a £6 million transfer budget, we can definitely get to work in the transfer window. And we've already got 3 young players from our academy who all could go on to be first choice players in future seasons. They're all going out on loan for the foreseeable future though. Now let's get to work in the transfer window. We've got a lot of work to do. Let's get Bolton ready to survive in the championship. Now I've got a rule for this rebuild, boys. We can only sign up to 2 free agents per transfer window. We can't fill the squad with free agents, so we've got to choose our free agent signings as carefully as possible. But obviously, as Bolton have agreed a deal to sign Lucas Stevenson in real life, we are going to bring him to the Reebok in game. He's going to cost us a maximum of 2.5 million. And Lucas Stevenson becomes the first signing of the Bolton Wanderers rebuild, joining us for £2 million. And we are going to be using one of our free agent signing slots on Arnaud Pugmal, a Spanish 25-year-old 72 rated right midfielder who looks like a really decent player. Not going to be too much in terms of wages, and he's a huge upgrade in the right midfield position. And Pugmal is officially unveiled as a Wanderer, but he would only sign a 2-year deal as he has aspirations to play in the Premier League. And we've also just agreed a loan to buy deal with Manchester City for Joel Nadala, who's a 69 rated 20-year-old left midfielder. We've got an optional future fee inserted of £3 million. He's had 2 loans in the championship already with Hull and Sheffield Wednesday, I think. I think he'll be a very good addition to our squad. And we're going to be using our second free agent signing slot on a goalkeeper, Michal Barsham, who's 28-year-old and 70 rated. Big upgrade on every single keeper we've currently got at the club. However, he doesn't have the best potential. We're going to need at least a 70 rated goalkeeper in the championship Championship if we want to stay up. Obersham now walks through the door. He's going to be our new number 1 going into season number 1. However, that's all our free agent signing slots done. And well, with only £2 million in the bank, we are going to be struggling for money to sign players after this. So we have also had a little bit of a clear out, boys, after signing these players. The likes of David Abimbola, Mendes Gomez, Joe Randall, Nathan Broom and Jack Bonham have all been sold. Jack Bonham, you are a hero for your performances in the playoffs. Now, we have got £4 million currently sitting in the bank. I want to do some scouting and I want to bring some coaches in. Let's get the scouting out of the way first. And as always on this channel, we always use your recommendations for nations to scout in FC 26. And for this season, we are going with this comment. We are going to be scouting Suriname. I think that's how you pronounce that country's name. And for the first season, we are going to look for goalkeepers. If we can find a good goalkeeper in season 1, it's going to save us a lot of money in the future. That's our scouting sorted. Let's bring some adequate coaches to the club. We want our players to actually develop. And after bringing coaches to the club, we're left with £3 million in the bank. We may be able to make a cash signing, but it's looking highly likely our attacking midfielder signing will be a loan to buy. And as we speak, we've just agreed a loan to buy deal for Amari Kellyman of Chelsea, who's 68 rated and 20-year-old with potential up to 84. Promotion winner with Cardiff City last season. He'll add some real quality to our team, and he is actually an upgrade on Rodriguez. So season 1 is completed, and we've seen some pretty significant growth all across our starting 11. We're looking at a really decent championship side on paper. A few positions that I would like to improve, few loans we need to make permanent. But all in all, off to a good start this season. As our top scorer this season was in fact Super Sam Dolby, 20 goals and 5 assists. Our 2 loan signings, Kellyman and Nadala, did chip in with double-figure goals. Kellyman did get 13 assists. He was a fantastic signing. So I'm a little bit nervous now as we go to check the standings. I hope we're not back in League 1. But we're definitely not back in League 1. We have finished 16th in the Championship, miles clear of relegation, where Bristol City and Cardiff, who are actually rivals, will go down to one final game to see who drops. Now, we lost 24 games and we did concede 83 goals. That is really, really bad. That could be the worst in the division. So we need to improve our defence next season. That is an absolute must. In the FA Cup, we made the 4th round, lost to Burnley 2-1 in a Lancashire derby. No shame in that. The final will be between Man City and Man United, very interestingly. In the Carabao Cup, we made the 3rd round. We got battered 5-0 away to Premier League Bournemouth. No shame in that. Good first season for Bolton. Still going to be a lot of work to be done though. So we're now in season 2, boys. Forgot to mention that Josh Fian and Ruben Rodriguez contracts were expiring, and unfortunately we have let them go. They're both in the 30s. They were both below 70 rated. Now, this season, we need a good transfer budget, and we've got £7 million, which is decent. First things first, we've got to make Joel Nadala's loan into a permanent deal. At 21-year-old and 72 rated, he is a fantastic player, and I really want to keep him around this season. And we're going to be paying £3.3 million, which is a big chunk of our budget, and maybe looking at loans and frees in this transfer window to get us to the next level. And Joel Nadala signs on the dotted line. He's a permanent Bolton Wanderers player. He is bagging himself 30 grand a week, however. So any other cash signings are now highly unlikely. And I've just seen we have got a youngster, Stefan Sumaro, who's 18-year-old and 70 rated, who we could have recalled and used in the starting 11. I've actually seen Dylan Hills, who's been out on loan as well. He's 68 rated and 19-year-old. He's actually better than Max Conway, and I was actually going to look to sign the new left back. He's going straight in the team, boys. We'll leave Sumaro out on loan, see how much he grows by. When he comes back next season, he's probably going to go straight into the team. So I think where we need to improve this team now is very obvious. We need a new centre-back to replace Owen Toll, and I may look to bring a new striker in to replace Sam Dolby. I'd like to get everyone in this team above 70 rated, and with Hills being a really good youngster at 19-year-old and 68 rated, he's definitely going to reach 70 rated this season. Toll and Dolby, however, I do have my doubts. And we are going to use one of our 2 free agent signings on Manu Lama, who's a 26-year-old 72 rated centre-back who's 6'4". Massive upgrade on Owen Toll, and he's got up to 80 potential. This is going to be a fantastic signing. And Manu Lima does sign for the club on a 4-year contract. Very happy with this signing. And we're going to use our 2nd free agent signing on Horatiu Moldovan, a 73 rated 29-year-old goalkeeper. Can't have us conceding 83 goals again next season. We need an upgrade in the goalkeeper position. Moldovan is our new number 1, signing a 3-year contract. Very happy with this signing. So I have got some outgoings to bring you up to date with, boys. A lot of players have left in this transfer window. The likes of Sam Dolby, John McAtee, Lewis Temple and Richard Taylor have been sold. A couple of our youngsters have gone out on loan as well, meaning we don't actually have a striker at the club. But we have identified Daniel Jebison to bring to the club at 24-year-old and 72 rated. He's a very good striker.
A few moments later.
So we couldn't agree a deal for Daniel Jebison, boys, but we have agreed a loan deal for Will Lancashire, who's 22-year-old and 74 rated. This is a player I really, really want Bolton to sign in real life. He is going to be a massive, massive signing for the football club. And given the fact we've got £5 million in the the bank, we might even be able to make one more signing after this deal. Now, we are lacking a backup striker, boys. As you can see, we're currently locked in negotiations for Luton Town striker Elijah Adebayor, who's 29-year-old and 69 rated. I don't have a clue why they've got it in white font because you can't even see it. We're just about to agree the deal for him now. We're going to offer up some wages for the guy, and he signs the contract, boys. Elijah Adebayor is our new backup striker, and that will be our final signing of season number 2. Now, we're back to youth scouting again this season using your recommendations, and for this season, we are going with this comment. We're going to be scouting Sweden. I'm going to be looking for defence-minded players and strikers. Hopefully, we can find the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So let's now lock the starting 11 in for season number 2, simulate forward to the end of the season, and see if we can improve on a 16th place finish. So we have arrived at the end of season number 2, and looking at how our starting 11 is currently looking, we've got a Premier League attack and a Championship defence. But happy smiley faces all across the board, combined with a lot of player growth, have we had an unexpected very strong season in season 2. Well, in terms of stats this season, Amari Kellerman was our best player, getting 22 goals and 13 assists. He also grew by 7 overalls to 79 rated. Will Lancashire and Joel Nadal had excellent seasons as well, getting double figures for goals, and Nadal did chip in with 10 assists. Now, unfortunately, both Amari Kellerman and Will Lancashire, who spearhead our attack, both players' loans are expiring, and it's going to take a combined around £12 million to make both deals permanent, and the cost of wages as well. So it looks highly unlikely we're going to be able to permanently sign Kellerman and Lancashire. But this season, lads, we actually finished 3rd in the Championship, scoring 74 goals, accumulating 80 points, 1 point off automatic promotion. However, Ipswich did have a better goal difference than us, which means we are actually in the playoffs, and if we win the playoffs, Bolton are back in the Premier League for the first time since 2012, and that probably means we can sign Kellerman and Lancashire. Well, in the Championship playoff semi-finals, we would beat Stoke City 3-1 over 2 legs, who actually relegated Bolton in 2012 thanks to 2 terrible refereeing decisions. Hull City beat Swansea 5-3 on aggregate. It's going to be Bolton versus Hull for a chance at Premier League football in season 3, and we've won it, boys. We win the Championship playoffs on penalties. We actually beat Hull 3-0 on penalties, which more than likely means our goalkeeper saved all 3 of Hull's first penalties, meaning our decision to bring a new goalkeeper in was definitely a good one. So Premier League football is coming back to the Reebok Stadium in season number 3, and we're going to have to make a lot of signings. So we've now arrived in season 3, and we have thankfully got £47 million in the bank, which does mean Amari Kellerman and Will Lancashire can both be signed, because this is a huge step in the right direction for us, as they are 2 of the better players currently at the club. Now, Kellerman can be signed for £2.1 million, and Will Lancashire can be signed for £5.4 million. 2 very good deals, to be fair, for 2 excellent young players. Just both going to take massive wages. So we have now completed the signings of both Amari Kellerman and Will Lancashire, and that leaves us with £35 million to spend on the rest of the squad. And looking at our starting 11, we're definitely going to need a little bit of work. I think we're going to need a new goalkeeper, centre-back and CDM if we're going to have any chance of staying in the Premier League this season. Now, we've got our 2 free agent options, which we are definitely going to explore. We may look to loan some established Premier League players. Before we get into signing players, boys, some of our young loan players have returned to the club, and Stefane Sumaro is absolutely incredible. The guy's 74 rated and 19-year-old. I think I'm going to have to get this guy straight into the team. We've got another incredible youngster, Logan Howe, who is still out on loan, 18-year-old and 72 rated. When he comes back from his loan, he's going straight into the first team as well. So we're not going to be focusing on signing any wingers for the time being. Now, we've got off to a flying start in this transfer window. We've made a very, very good loan to buy signing, Obed Vargas of Atletico Madrid. 22-year-old, 77 rated CDM who can play out on the wing as well. Very, very good young player with upwards of 86 potential. Joins us on a 1-season loan. We can sign him at the end of the season for £18 million. So we absolutely have to stay up if we want to make this signing permanent. Now, this next signing is going to be a massive one in trying to keep Bolton in the Premier League this season. We've identified Radu Dragusin of Tottenham, whose contract is expiring. We can get him on a cut price deal. He's 79 rated, he's 26-year-old, he's got very decent stats, he has still got a little bit of potential. He's a massive boost to our defence. Hopefully he can help keep us in the Premier League. And we complete the signing of our new number 5, Radu Dragusin, on a cut price deal of just £14 million. Now, this leaves us with £17 million in the bank, and it's imperative we sign a Premier League level goalkeeper with this money. Now, when it comes to signing a new goalkeeper with our small budget, I think experience is going to be key. We've identified Vanja Milinkovic-Savic of Lyon in France, 31-year-old, 81 rated goalkeeper who's 6'8". The guy's a monster. Very good stats, but it could use up all of our budget. And Vanja Milinkovic-Savic signs for the club for £14 million. This is a massive step towards Premier League survival, leaving us with just £3 million in the bank. And a few players did need to be sold to make this deal happen, the likes of Ethan Errahan, Thierry Gale, and Meshal Bersham all sold. A couple of players go out on loan as well. Now, there'll be no more transfer business taking place this season, meaning this is going to be the Bolton Wanderers team to take us into season number 3. We have got a massive challenge on our hands in staying in the Premier League this season. We're locking the team in for season 3. We're going to be simulating forward straight through to the end of the season. All I want is Premier League survival. So our first season back as a Premier League side has now been completed, and the big question is, have we managed to remain in the Premier League? Well, we've actually finished 11th in the Premier League on 47 points, winning 13 of our 38 games, finishing 15 points clear of the relegation zone where Wolves, Leicester and Leeds go down to the Championship, and in season 4 Bolton Wanderers will still be a Premier League side. And we'd also have a decent run in the FA Cup, reaching the quarter-finals but losing to Arsenal 2-1, and we'd also lose in the third round of the Carabao Cup to Chelsea 3-1. Now, this season the board did hit us with a transfer increase halfway through the season, giving us £28 million, and we put this money to good use in signing a new right back for the club. We brought in Nico Sigur from Palermo for £20 million, who's 25-year-old, 80 rated, can play a multitude of positions, and he's got very well-rounded stats. Joins us from the Serie A, and I've no doubt he played a key role in consolidating in the Premier League for us. As we look at our team, it's a very strong team on paper with only 3 players below 80 rated and a lot of players here who probably could go on and play for top-end Premier League clubs. We will have to make Vargas's loan into a permanent deal next season, which will cost us £18 million, which I've got no worries about doing. And if I could improve the team in any other position, would be centre-back replacing Lama, who's 28-year-old and 77 rated. Sumaro and Hills are both young and still growing. Centre-back, definitely a position we're lacking in. And this season, we were much better in front of goal. Lancashire got 20 goals and 5 assists, and Sumaharo, in his first season in our first 11, got 12 goals and 14 assists, which is very impressive. So we have arrived in season 4, and this is a very crucial season for the club. We don't want to drop down towards the relegation places. We want to make key signings to push us into the top half of the table. We've only been given £38 million. Not the best budget, boys, I can't lie. And straight off the bat, we do want to make Obed Vargas's loan into a permanent deal. At 23-year-old and 80 rated, he's such a good young player. However, it is going to cost us £18.4 million. This is a massive chunk of our budget already used up. And Obed Vargas's loan has been made permanent for £18.4 million, a very solid signing. However, with just £18 million left in the bank, we may really struggle to sign a new first choice centre back. Now, last season we didn't tap into the free agent market, and we really need to make the most of our 2 allotted free agent signings in this transfer window. Also, work on trying to find a new starting centre back. We do need some improvements to our bench. We desperately need a new backup striker, and young academy player Razinga has handed in a transfer request. We're going to need a backup attacking mid as well. That's where we're going to use our allotted free agent signings. So our first free agent signing is striker Tomas Gonzalez, who is 74 rated, and our second free agent signing is attacking midfielder Kamaldeen Sulemana, who is 76 rated, who also joins with some Premier League experience, which is crucial. Now, interestingly, boys, we have had a bid come in for Stefani Sumaharo. Would get up to £50 million for him, which would go such a long way in this transfer window. And to soften the blow of this sale, we have got another incredible youngster, Logan Howe, who's 19-year-old and 76 rated, who could easily take his place. He's actually younger and got a better potential than Sumaharo, so we are going to try and sell him, reinvest the money in the centre-back position. I want to try and get at least £40 million for Sumaharo though. Let's see if Werder Bremen will give it us. No, they won't. And just like that, Genk in Belgium are going to give us £40 million for Sumaharo. This is going to be reinvested back into the centre-back position. So Sumaharo has joined Genk. We've got an excellent deal for him, and we've now got £49 million to reinvest into the centre-back position. So a centre-back has been identified. It's Charlie Cresswell of Real Mallorca, the former Leeds Academy graduate, 26-year-old, 83 rated, fantastic defender with loads of play styles as well. Going to be a costly deal, could be anywhere from 28 to 37 million to bring him to the Reebok Stadium. And Charlie Cresswell is officially a Bolton Wanderers player, joining us for £34 million. Great signing if you ask me. So with only 11 million remaining in the bank, I think it's unlikely we make another signing in this transfer window. So we're going to lock the starting 11 in for season number 4, but can we improve on an 11th place finish? It is going to be difficult. Let's simulate forward to the end of the season and find out. So season 4 is now completed and we are starting to look at a very, very strong Bolton Wanderers team on paper. 287 rated players in Watson and Kellyman, 86 rated Nadal and 85 rated Lancashire. This is a very, very strong team on paper. I'm very intrigued to see how we've got on in season number 4. Solid performances in front of goal once again. Will Lancashire gets 24 goals. He is our top scorer. Kellyman and Nadal are double figure goals as well. Logan Howe really stepped up as well this season, grew to 80 rated, got 9 goals, 5 assists. Good performances from him. And we have actually finished 4th in the Premier League, 1 point clear of Liverpool and Chelsea, 3 clear of Man United. That actually means Champions League football is coming to the Reebok Stadium. We'd also reached the FA Cup semi-final, but unfortunately we did lose to Manchester City, who beat us 4-2, and it would have been Everton or Coventry in the final. City do go on to win the FA Cup. In the Carabao Cup, we once again failed to get out the 3rd round. We lost 2-0 to Sunderland. No trophies yet in the trophy cabinet for Bolton. So we have now arrived in season number 5, and it's time to prepare Bolton for Champions League football. We've got 112 million in the bank, which is a very solid budget. Good to see so many of our players are now selected for international football. There's one position I do want to replace in the starting 11. That's going to be Radu Dragusin at centre-back, 28-year-old, 81 rated. Will be a really good squad player going forward, but I need a very strong centre-back to partner Cresswell. And also our bench is lacking in a few positions, especially CDM, left-back. So we are going to spend some money improving the quality of our bench. We don't even have an 80 rated player on there. Everything just to get Bolton ready for Champions League football. We are wasting no time in bringing the new centre-back to the club. Jarek is our top target from PSV, who's 25-year-old and 83 rated, left-footed and 6'4". Very, very good player and is affordable as well. We're going to pay anywhere from 38 to 51 million for him. Will leave us with enough money in the bank to improve our bench. This could be a very solid signing. We complete the signing of Jarek from PSV and he joins us for £45 million. And we've also identified a CDM we want to bring to the club to bolster our bench. Tim Irogbunum, 27-year-old, 80 rated CDM of Everton. Really decent player and he's very affordable, boys. Anywhere from 15 to 19 million to sign him. And Irogbunum joins for 17 million. He'll be a very good squad player for us. And I've also just seen Lucas Mincarelli currently playing for Portsmouth in the Championship. He's 26-year-old and 80 rated. He's very versatile as well. And he's a left-footed defender who can be brought in for a maximum of £23 million. I think this would be a very, very good rotation signing going into the Champions League, especially given his versatility. And 20 million is all it takes to bring Lucas Mincarelli to the club. These 3 signings definitely help us prepare for the Champions League. I think we've done some very solid business in season number 5. And it's looking like at the end of the season we'll need a new goalkeeper to replace Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, who's now 33-year-old and 82 rated. Luckily for us though, we have a goalkeeper out on loan, Nick Smit, who we found from Suriname. 20-year-old, 77 rated, is out on loan at Valencia for 1 more season. I think at the start of season 6 he will be ready to be our first choice goalkeeper. So another season as Bolton boss has been completed and it's another 4th place finish in the Premier League on 69 points. City and United and Liverpool having shocking seasons, whereas the likes of us, Everton and Palace get into Europe and Arsenal win the Premier League. And we finally secure our first trophy of the rebuild. We beat Manchester United 2-0 in the FA Cup final, added an FA Cup trophy to our trophy cabinet, and this is actually very interesting, lads. The last time Bolton won the FA Cup was 1958, not long after the Munich disaster, where Bolton famously beat Manchester United 2-0, which made Bolton a very hated club at the time, as everyone was supporting United after the Munich disaster, which, to be fair, boys, is actually understandable. However, United would get their own back in the Carabao Cup, but they beat us 2-1 in the 4th round. And I actually think our first season as a Champions League club was fairly successful. We got to the round of 16 and lost to Leipzig 3-2 an aggregate. No shame in that whatsoever. And we're taking a very strong team into the new season. 2 90-rated players now in our starting 11 in Kellyman and Watson. Smith was recalled from his loan. He's already grown to 81 rated at 21-year-old. He's our new number 1. And I think looking at our team going into season number 7 or 6, I think it could be season 7. I want to improve in the full-back positions, as I think they're the weakest positions in the team. And looking at our bench, we could definitely do with 1 or 2 more 80-rated replacements, especially a backup striker. In terms of stats this season, Will Lancashire has just been outstanding season upon season. He got 29 goals and 6 assists. Logan Howe, Joel Nadala and Amari Kellyman all had fantastic seasons as well, rounding off what's been a superb season for the Whites. So we have now arrived in season number 6, and we have got a transfer budget of £181 million. So straight straight off the back, I know who I want to bring to the club in the fullback position. Michael Kayode of Wolfsburg, who is 85 rated and 26-year-old. Might be a little nod to a future rebuild there, by the way. He has got fantastic stats, some good play styles, and he's still got really good potential, and he's very affordable as well. The max we're going to pay is 68 million for him. He would be a great improvement to our starting 11, so we are going to bring him to the club. And we complete the signing of Michael Kayode, who joins the club for £56 million. And up next, the backup striker will be joining the club. I found Jay Robinson over in the Eredivisie, who's 80 rated and 24-year-old. I have never seen this guy before in FC 26, and he's actually got an in-game face. Can get him for 30 million maximum as well. 80 rated striker, definitely do a job, and at 24-year-old, still got room to grow. And we complete the signing of Jay Robinson, who joins the club for £26 million. That still leaves us with 92 million in the bank, and I'm just going to use the remainder of our money to bring a new backup winger to the club, because I actually really like how our starting 11's looking, and I don't want to rush into replacing youth academy players like Smith, Hills and Howe, because they are three really young players who have all got excellent potential. And the backup winger we want to bring to Bolton is Kevin of Fulham, 28-year-old, 81 rated. He's a fantastic player, joining from a championship club, and again we can get him for below £30 million, which I think would be an excellent signing. And we complete the signing of Kevin, who is our final signing of the summer, for £25 million. So we've arrived at the end of the season, lads, and Bolton Wanderers are the champions of England, and we've won the Premier League in style. Just 2 losses in 38 games, finishing 4 points clear of second place Liverpool, adding a Premier League trophy to our trophy cabinet. And as a Bolton fan, this actually pains me, as I'm never going to see this in real life. However, our performance in the FA Cup was very poor, knocked out in the 3rd round by Bournemouth, and we'd lose to Everton on penalties in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Has it just been a Premier League win this season? Well, we've got a chance to win the Champions League. We've made the final. We're going to take on Arsenal, who are fresh off losing the Champions League final on penalties to PSG. A massive win for the football world. Now, in the league phase, we actually finished 12th, meaning we had to play a playoff game. We played AZ Alkmaar and just narrowly scraped past them, beating them 3-2 on aggregate despite losing the second leg. In the round of 16, it was once again a very tight tie with Bayer Leverkusen, who we beat 4-3 on aggregate, before beating AC Milan 2-0 on aggregate to set up a semi-final with Bayern Munich. And wow, we turned it on. We beat them 5-0 in the semis. Did not have an easy run to the final, but oh my word, look at the team we are taking into the Champions League final. 4 90 rated plus players, everyone in the starting 11's above 86 rated. This is an incredible team. Some very strong stats as well, with Howe, Kellyman, Lancashire and Nadala being our strongest players. When it comes to a Hall of Famer for this rebuild, I've got to give it to Will Lancashire, who has been absolutely insane every single season, with Logan Howe not far behind. He's been a fantastic academy player for us. But all that is now left to do is take on Arsenal and hopefully prevent them from winning a Champions League once again. So before we get into the game, let's look at Arsenal's team, and I'm already seeing our team is well stronger. They've got a 76 rated left back. Saliba and Saka are the best players, along with some academy player in Abasia. But other than that, lads, our team is so much better than Arsenal's. We've got to be winning this final. Old Trafford's the venue, all English affair. Can we get the job done? Now, just like PSG, we've got to do the footballing world a favour. We cannot let Arsenal get a European trophy. Abusia, oh, could be a chance. Eze, straight at Smith, good save. I want Arsenal getting a goal here. Free header for Martin. It's 1-0 to Arsenal. What has just happened? Has Coyote just put it into his own net? Free header from miles out. It's going wide, and Coyote just... Oh, that is a mess. That is a mess. 1-0 to Arsenal. Not like this, boys. Into Lancashire. Great. Oh, what a turn back. Oh, what a tackle by Saliba. Nadal, the last chance of the first half. Lancashire. Kellyman onside. Straight at that. Oh, my God. How is it not 1-1? How many chances do we want to miss? And Arsenal are 45 minutes away from winning the Champions League. This has got to be the second half of all second half, boys. How? Oh my... Ref, that's a penalty! We've got a penalty and we have to score this. The 76 rated fullback, I didn't even see what happened. This has to go in, boys, because Raya has been in inspired form. Amari Kellyman for Bolton equalises in the 51st minute. Brilliant penalty by Kellyman right into the top corner. And I'll tell you what, we've deserved that because Raya has been in inspired form. Great ball to Hills. Whipped in. Oh. Nadal, what a save again by Raya. Ref! Saliba, get him off! Arsenal's tackles in this game have been horrific. Back to Watson, who's got distance. Shoots! What a save by Raya. Gonna be a corner in the 81st minute. Late corner. Can we find that all-important winning goal? Whipped in by Kellyman. Cleared. Out wide to Kevin. Just off the bench. Huge chance. Across the... Kellyman! Last minute winner by Amari Kellyman. 89 on the clock. And Amari Kellyman double surely wins the Champions League for Bolton. Great tackle. Get rid of it. Osimhen with a shot. Cleared. That's got to be full-time. There's the full-time whistle. Bolton Wanderers are the champions of Europe, and Arsenal are once again prevented from winning the Champions League. And all that is left to do, lads, is get our hands on that Champions League trophy, and Bolton Wanderers are officially the champions of Europe. It's been a slog, boys, but I'll see you in the next one.